everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Clarepoint podcast with me, Randy Prizzle. Now, we've got a big show for you today. You're probably saying, what the fuck are you wearing on, Randy? Why are you wearing on a coat indoors? It's cold outside. It's chilly setting still out there. It's chilly, like chilly from TLC. Do you know what I mean? Literally. Don't go chasing waterfalls, please into the rivers and the lakes that you used to. All of that. But anyways, we're not here for all of that waffling on. We're here to get straight into it with the Clarepoint podcast episode 9. Big up all of you who've been checking out the episodes, and you know what to usually do below if you're feeling these episodes and all of that and everything else on the channel. Big you lot up. Much appreciated. But anyways, let's get on to some of Randy's advice. So we had this probably about a month ago where I was going into some advices and looking and seeing what the people then were saying, and I was responding to obviously what some of their advices was. Now obviously you're going to get clear cut, straight to the point advice from me. If you're doing nonsense, I'm going to call you out on your bullshit straight up. Do you know what I mean? No time for all that kissy, oh, don't worry about it, oh, it's going to be fine. Fuck that. We're getting straight to the point here. But anyways, this first one we come to, I cried after eating her out. This is mad. Do you know what I mean? Straight away, for the people who don't want to know about the yamming and all of them things that go down below, eating the whole, all of them settings there, oyster settings and that. Do you know what I mean? You could tap out like an oyster card and just move on to the next one. But anyways, she says, I feel like these confessions are just good things that happen to people that are a little taboo. The sweetest taboo and all of that. She says, well, this isn't it. So a few weeks ago, I went to the club with a few of my friends. One of my buddies introduced me to her, he said, into her close family friend, and said we would get along great. She was right. We ended up getting along fabulously and becoming real close over the night. Ooh, things were warning. She says, I have a very similar family background and both shared some difficult life experiences, such as being victims of sexual abuse. Oh, that's deep. It's real deep. She says, anyways, as the night went on, we ended up separating from our original friend group and walked all night together through the city. And we eventually started talking about a great movie we used to love as kids. So bonding on the kids thing and that. You know what I mean? General, probably it was a spy movie sign or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Says naturally, I invited her over to watch it and she agreed. As the movie was playing, our bodies naturally started getting closer and closer to each other. Doing the move closer, your body real close. All of that. But yeah, what more he's saying, says then we started touching each other's parts and teasing each other until we completely ignored the movie. So they're doing the tease me, baby, till I lose control. Tease me with your love until I lose control of my body and my soul. Oh yes. Baby girl, don't it ever forget the first time we kissed. All of that. But yeah, what more he's saying, we fucked a lot that night, and I had like four 45 minutes long sessions. That's a lot. Do you know what I mean? Lost in that, like champion in the bedroom, literally. Do you realize that you are a champion in her eyes? All of that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, she says, or he says now, it was great. We both came multiple times, but then after the night, we started cuddling again, and I started kissing her body and eating her out. Going to dinner time. Said it was going great, and then she told me it's such a blessing to have you in my life. Damn, she's going deep settings there. I mean, it's deep, do you know what I mean? Literally. Deep like the ocean and that. But anyways, I was going through a massive low point during this, and in all honesty, I needed to hear that. I broke down crying, and she held me close and comforted me. She even big spooned me and was kind to me until she had to go the next day. She's a great friend now, and we're even FWB. I don't know what that means. Oh, friends with benefits. Listen, yeah, took me a while there. As I said, not in the right headspace, but I'm there now. Yeah, but I'm hella embarrassed. I broke down crying while eating her pussy. Well, listen, those sort of things can help make you do them things. You know what I mean? Certain man them when they're so invested in the WAP, they're getting to get deep into the rap settings. Do you know what I mean? They're turning it around like turntables and that. Literally, DJ spinning on the Rex and that. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Man's spit game all on that ting, you know what I mean? While he's spinning the records and that. Do you know what I mean? But these are the sort of things that get the man them emotional. Some of the man them. You know what I mean? Listen. If a man they ain't had things going on in a while, and obviously if he feels an emotional connection to a girl, these sort of things could do the head turning thing. Do you know what I mean? It's got to turn around, ding, 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 all of that. Do you know what I mean? But I would say to man, listen, you had to do what you had to do. Do you know what I mean? If you felt like crying, you felt like crying. You know what I mean? The girl made you feel a certain type of way. Listen, personally, for me, I wouldn't be crying, but it depends, because obviously you had an emotional connection to this girl. So potentially now you've seen her as a friends with benefits thing, but it's not something that's going to go that deep, is it? So listen, you did it once. I would say don't do it again. That's all I'm saying there, because if you do it again, then bruh, this is something that could potentially give her green lights and thinks this is a relationship and that. When you should set the boundaries and say straight, listen, this is just the friends, you know, doing the smashing stuff like the Super Smash Brother. That's what we're doing, you know what I mean? Where to go? All of that. That's what it is. You know what I mean? We're not going anywhere forth and anywhere back. It's not the back and forth like a Leah thing. Do you know what I mean? We're only doing that bedroom settings. And that's what it is. Like the Jay Holiday song. Bed, bed, bed. Bed, all the fingers through your hair, wrap me up in your bed, love you till your eyes go black, all of that, do you know what I mean? So yeah, listen, it was a low point for you. Sorry about the noise of that. As I said, someone is obviously doing spilling the gut cell stuff and that. As I said, I don't live alone as well. It's just the things that I'm going through. As I said, this podcast is a bootleg podcast. You should know this by now. I've said this a couple of episodes back. Do you know what I mean? Man, I'm not alone in this thing. You know what I mean? And I wish I had a mic and the headphones and that, but it doesn't connect to the phone that I'm speaking to you through this on. So it is what it is here. So, it's madness. But listen, I hear it. You know what I mean? You had to let your emotions go. You were caught in the feels, in your feelings like Drake and all that. So I hear it. But I would say just don't do it again. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, you're sending off mixed messages. Send mixed messages, all of that. And then she's going to start thinking you're getting deep into it now and that you want to start some things with her. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to get more than what it is. So just don't. It's cool to express the emotions once. Do you know what I mean? That feeling got you in the feels and that. But when it gets too much in the feels, that's when you have to run for the hills, bruv. Trust me on that one. Because it's going to get peaky like the blinders. She's going to start thinking that this is something more than when it really probably isn't. So you need to be very careful. And that's my advice on that. That's all I've got to say on it. That's all I got to say. Yes. 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 All right. As I said, background noise, it is what it is. I don't live alone. So yeah. We'll come to the next one. Hopefully get this one done quick. My biggest secret says so. Okay, this is a long one. Jeez, it's a long one. All right, try and just round this up as quick as I can. I've kept this secret for roughly 2 decades at this point. I've never told anyone, not even a therapist, of affair, what people would think. As a child, my parents divorced. This peak already. I don't even remember them together now. But anyway, my dad moved out, and I was left with my mum and my brother. My brother suffered from autism and was often violent as he couldn't control his emotions. A lot of time he would push me down the stairs and beat me up. Ooh, damn. Eventually things between him and my mum became violent when she would discipline him, and I would listen to my mother scream and my brother would dig his nails into her. My mother was also violently and badly tempered. She would accept my brother to cook and feed me when she went to work, and she would expect me and my brother to keep the house clean from ages as young as 7 and 8. At night, if I would lie awake crying and dared to be loud enough that my mother could hear, she would lock me out in the garden in my bare feet with my PJs on and my teddy bear until I would shut up. She would often fly into a rage if I were naughty or had left the dishwasher unloaded. I remember social services coming round, but they never asked me directly if I was okay. My father would occasionally not turn up when he was supposed to, and I would often overhear conversations that my father did not believe I was his. I lived an extremely unloved childhood, so when I was roughly 12 years old, when everyone else had gone to bed, I would take the laptop downstairs and join chat rooms. I would often find men who knew I was young and asked me to go on cameras and take my clothes off. This was a young girl, by the way, I'm believing. This is madness, but let's keep going. And I would. I did it every time and I had no idea why. I feel disgusted when I think about it now, but I was just a child and longed for someone to be kind to me. Someone to show me some attention that wasn't violent or angry. I know this makes me a freak, but I've waited so long to get this off my chest, I simply couldn't carry it alone anymore. That's a peak childhood, man. That's so peak and that's so deep that, you know, that sort of thing could push you to those levels where you'd look online for other people's approvals and that at a young age as well. But those people online took advantage of you as well. And listen, they should be locked up straight away. But your parents as well, just coming from an unloving background, the way your mum treated you, yeah, she should be locked up as well. I mean, that's not a way to treat a child, going through those situations and that. And obviously, you know, yes, she's probably had a lot to do with obviously your brother and that, but she should not be taking that out on you or him because of what he suffers from. I think that that's bad parenting altogether. I think that obviously your dad never really gave a shit, which is bad to say that, but it's mad. It's unfortunate that you've had to go through that, and my heart goes out to you. Do you know what I mean? I just hope you found some solace and some counselling that can get you through this, because all of that is just fucked. You know what I mean? But it doesn't make you a freak. It just makes you someone that had to rely on someone else to, let's say, look for love in the wrong places. So, but as I said, the man them who went and on the chat, bruh, lock them up. Put their names, send them to the cops, because these people could be doing that to future children or teens or however old you were. Lock them up. Do you know what I mean? That's not right at all. Do you know what I mean? Shop their names to the police straight away. That's all I have to say on that. It's a bit of a serious one there, but you know, we'll move on from that one, and we'll move on from the confessions, you know what I mean? So the AFC confessions have got my advice on them. So those were those confessions. It was a bit of a serious one, that one. It just kind of brought the mood down a little bit, but yeah, it was peak. But I had to be real with that one. It's madness. But anyways, we're going to move on from that one. Talk briefly now on TV shows, movies that I've probably been checking out. So we'll come to the Continental. So obviously the Continental, people don't know, is obviously a prequel to John Wick. You know, if people know the John Wick films starring Keanu Reeves. So this is basically the TV series adaptation of that, but of the character of, I'm forgetting his damn name again, Michael Sutton, yeah, Michael, was it Winslow? Yeah, him. If you know the old guy, yeah, the old white guy that's in charge of the Continental, him. Yeah, it's basically a backdrop on his story and how he met Sharon and all of that and how it all went down. So, you know, I mean, all of that's there, and abundance practically of how he kind of came to basically put himself in the position to be in charge of the Continental, you know what I mean, and his backstory and all of that. So it's well worth a watch. It's definitely something that is action packed, Because I was expecting that from watching the John Wick films, that this to be somewhat of a certain level, but it wasn't in terms for me where there was a lot more action, obviously, that there was involved in John Wick. But I know that this was something that was a decent origin story. Didn't really need it, but it was decent. The fight scenes were great. I thoroughly enjoyed them. But as I said, I just wish it could have been spread out all the way throughout. I think from the first episode and the third episode, they were the ones that kind of were more action packed for me. You know what I mean? I would have just wanted it to be more consistent throughout, and obviously it wasn't. So it is what it is there. But I liked the fact that there were violence there, obviously. I'm a man who likes to watch violence on TV, not in real life. I like to watch violence because I know what it is. It's an adaptation. It's not real. It's something that, you push forward and you enjoy in terms of a TV aspect, in terms where it is obviously, right there, and it's right there in your face to show you, this is what it is. It's action packed, it's adventure, and that's what you're going to get. Do you know what I mean? People say, oh, it could be real life. You know what I mean? That's people that are wild into the delusions and their minds are lost. Do you know what I mean? Where they're thinking that's acceptable to go and do this in the street. Those people are lost their minds. Do you know what I mean? It's literally the Niles Barkley song. I remember when I lost my mind. They lost their mind. Do you know what I mean? It's all I've got to say there. Do you know what I mean? Hey, crazy. All of that. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would say it's well worth a watch. They are long episodes, each of them, more than an hour 30 minutes for each episode that goes along. Wow, 15 hour 20, round about that period of mark, but still very good. As I said, it's not something that for me kept up the action consistently. You know what I mean? The plot and everything was very simple. You know what I mean? Nothing that was really complex. You kind of knew what it was from what it wasn't. You know what I mean? And the story, everything was kind of clear cut. So yeah, all of that and all the above. I would obviously rate the Continental. I'll give it an 8. I think it's worth an 8. I don't think it really goes above and beyond that. But it's good, great action, well worth a watch. So yeah, I'm giving it an 8. And cool, we're going to move forward now to talk the Circle US. So if people haven't watched Circle US, it's available on Netflix. If people don't know, it's basically a kind of reality TV show where people try to get popular through social media. So social media aspects of where you would have, I think, up to maybe 8-9 players, and they each can make profiles, but they don't see each other in real life. They have to chat and communicate with each other through these profiles to kind of know or navigate their way to winning 100 grand. You know what I mean? So it's a big amount, it's massive, and it's one that people can set up a fake profile or could set up a real profile and you wouldn't know, but they have to play a role, you know what I mean, or play a part in making themselves popular to win the game. So it's a very good watch. I enjoy it. I like reality TV series, is obviously of them game show aspects. So for me, it's right up my alley. Do you know what I mean? I like the fact that you're going to get people that are playing the game. I think what the thing is, for me, when I watch it, I'm torn between two worlds of, playing a moral game where you would go in there and you would just be yourself, or playing someone else where you're just playing the game and you're playing it to win 100 grand. Now, for me, if you're asking me, what would you do to go and win 100 grand? Listen, yeah, you would do what you can do, but I would want to play a game that resonates with people. I wouldn't want to go in there and be a complete arsehole, you know what I mean? Or be lying to people on multiple occasions. I think you have to be very careful to not get the lies caught up in some people finding out you're not what you say you are. Do you know what I mean? And I think if I was going into the Circle nowadays, I would go in as myself. Do you know what I mean? I would be myself. I would put myself out there in the hopes that people just, rock with what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's just what you can be. You can't really, I think, fake it for a longer period of time. So obviously you can say you're doing something else, which lying about maybe your occupation or something, small minor details, but nothing on a grander scale, which can obviously get you to the point where you're just now barefaced lying and you're just completely telling fibs and people don't know who you are. You know what I mean? Or you're getting your stories mixed up, because trust me, once you say something wrong, it's game over. People find out who you are, you're done out here. Do you know what I mean? So it's good in an aspect of that, but it's one of them ones. Yeah, when I probably used to watch Big Brother back in the days, and big up Big Brother. It's back, by the way. Started Sunday, so it's back for its new season, which I will be watching. But crazy, and with Big Brother, you can only be yourself. You're going in there, you have to be yourself. You can't play a game, otherwise you'll be found out and you'll probably be voted off. So I would say the only aspects and chance to win the money if you're being seen personally, face to face, is to be yourself. But behind a screen or behind where someone can't see you, you could potentially be a character. But I'm neither saying nailed there. If I was playing the I'd be myself. But I can understand why people would play a character. Do you know what I mean? I'm all in for people doing their villain stuff and being the bad guy, because you need a bad guy to make the reality series work. You need a bad guy, and you need that bad guy to be the most devious bad person of them all. And one of them was in the circle. Do you know what I mean? Lying, manipulating, cheating, all of that. Doing the Eddie Guerrero stuff, lie, cheating, and stealing. You know what I mean? But I am here for that. Do you know what I mean? Because, and in aspects where it's good to watch, cool. If I'm living with that person, no fucking chance. Yeah, I'll be kicking your ass out, because I wouldn't want anything to do with that person when I know they've been lying to man, they've been deceiving man, they've been cheating. No. Do you know what I mean? But if it's with a reality TV aspect, it's cool. Do you know what I mean? I can watch you do that, but I'm not going to be living with you while you're doing that. No. Yeah, you can get the fuck out. It's as simple as that. But anyways, that's all I've got to say on that. Excuse me, cold sayings and all that. I'm not cold palmer, I'm just, as I said, all of them things, them there and above. But yeah, that's that. So what do you guys think of my advice before that? The Continental, Circle US. Put your comments below, keep them to yourself. All right, well, we've got to touch on Man City before we jump into the Premier League and the madness that's going on. These Man City cheating scumbags have managed to get away with it again. You know what I mean? They've won the case against the Premier League, for the unlawful rules. But the Premier League are cheaters themselves. And I have to touch on that and to explain why the Premier League are cheaters themselves. Because the Premier League, are one of the biggest scam artists going on here. Bro, from the referees they hire to the VAR decisions, it's all a mess, yeah? I understand why people are calling the Premier League corrupt, because, I can see certain decisions that happen week in, week out in the Premier League for some teams. It's a madness, yeah? But these people won't tell you about it. They'll be like, oh, well, you just got to do what you got to do. It's refereeing decisions. You have to just play the game. Nah, fuck that. But this is what everybody's allowing. Man City came and hit them back. They went to hit Man City. Man City reserved it back like a tennis. Do you know what I mean? They racketed it backhand, back to them. Do you know what I mean? They played the Uno reverse card and so, oh, you want to try and sue us? We're suing you. But these man never cheats themselves. 115 charges, and these mans have managed to find a way to get their way out of this one again. You know what I mean? They should be relegated. But this is the thing, the Premier League did this to Leicester and did this to other teams, Everton. But somehow Man City have managed to escape again. And why are the reasons they've managed to escape? Money talks. Yeah, they got corrupt people paying other people to make these decisions go away. They're the biggest scam artists in this country. The Premier League are just as bad as they are. but they're bad. Yeah, they're really bad. I'm not talking about Michael Jackson bad. Really, really bad. They're just fucking bad. Do you know what I mean? Fuck these motherfuckers. They should be relegated, but they're not. Biggest cheats going on. Do you know what I mean? But the Premier League are a disgrace as well. Do you know what I mean? And it's simple as that. Do you know what I mean? Fuck these man them. Fuck Man City and fuck the Premier League too. The Premier League, I'm talking about the VAR and the referees and all that bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Scam artists. And people say, well, what will happen, Randy, if, Man City, or Arsenal end up winning the Premier League? Would you retract your statement? If no, I wouldn't. I'm still saying they're cheats. Fuck them. Do you know what I mean? Lying cheats, scumbags, arseholes. As simple as that. Fuck them, man, them there. That's all I've got to say on that. Cool. Now, obviously, we see that Coleen, Rooney, and Rebekah Vardy are still on this madness. Now, where Rebekah Vardy is now taking her back to court to try and sue her for the money that she's been ordered to pay to be paying Coleen Rooney. Now, Rebekah Vardy is on a madness. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally, you've done all them mad things where she's done the whole madness to Coleen, unlawfully, and all these messages and that. Just leave it alone. Why are you going there again? Do you know what I mean? Like, move all your life. The only thing that this hurts is probably your husband's image, right? You know what I mean? And obviously Rooney, because these men were supposed to be England teammates now. These men can't even probably be in the same room as each other because of what's going on between their two wives. But it's madness, man. Like, and I say this, so what? Can't they just get along? Do you know what I mean? There should be unity. But there's no unity. There's no loyalty. There's no trust. These girls are out doing a madness on each other. Madness. But anyways, that's that. You know what I mean? It's long to talk about all this stuff, but I'll just say, listen, Rebekah Vardy should get what's coming to her. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? She's a liar, she's a cheat, she's a scam artist, but whatever. Do you know what I mean? And now she's trying to sue her because she didn't want to pay all the money to her. Man, that's madness. But anyways, that's their life. It's their life. It's their life, mum. It's their life. It's not mine. But I'm just here to report on what I see, and it's just a whole heap of madness. So as simple as that. Let's move the fuck on. We're going to talk obviously on the Premier League now. Come on to what happened on Matchday 7. There's a whole heap of madness on the Matchday 7. So we're going to touch all on that. This phone decides to load. It is trying to load now. A second. Yes, there we go. Phone is loading. All right, great. There we are. We'll come to the first one on Matchday 7 in the Premier League. Wee. Results in that. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. Brentford 5, Wolves 3. Man City 3, Fulham 2. West Ham 4, Ipswich Town 1. Leicester City 1, Bournemouth 0. Everton 0, Newcastle 0. Aston Villa 0, Man United 0. Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Brighton 3, Tottenham 2. But anyways, let's touch on my thoughts on what went down on Matchday 7. Liverpool winning 1-0. So they continue going. Liverpool starting to become annoying, but you know what? I'd rather them win the Premier League if we don't win it. It's just as simple as that. It's a good result for them and a good victory for Liverpool against Crystal Palace. Arsenal beat Southampton 3-1. Listen, going 1-0 down, it's a bit of a madness still, but we pulled it back and we managed to keep going on. So it got a bit hairy at times because we left it late, but we do what we usually do and we find a way to come back. And, Kai Havertz again scoring in another home game. Congratulations to him. As I said, the jury's still out on him. I'm still going to wait about a year and a half before I make my full conclusion on Kai Havertz. I need to see consistency before I say this guy is not another Giroud in disguise. So that's all I'm saying now. Let's move to the next match. Brentford, 5-3 is an entertaining game, it seemed. Brentford beating Wolves 5-3. Didn't watch the game, but it looked like an entertaining match. Winning that 5-3. Man City, the cheats, beating Fulham 3-2. Whatever, you know what I mean? West Ham, 4-1 against Ipswich Town's a good result for West Ham, finding their way to bounce back. Lopetegui was under pressure, but he's found a way to win that game. You know what I mean? Well, they need to win at home. If they didn't win, it would have been a crisis thing. But Leicester beating Bournemouth 1-0. It's a good result again for Leicester. Their first win of the season. Big win for them. Now Everton 0, Newcastle 0. Self-explanatory, didn't watch the game. Villa, Man United 0. It's actually a good point for Man United. It keeps Ten Hag in the job for longer. Do you know what I mean? Ten Hag is staying for now. Do you know what I mean? But we'll find out obviously after the international break if Ten Hag will still be in charge of Man United. Hopefully he is. Fingers crossed to all the rival fans there. We need him to stay. Do you know what I mean? Ten Hag, we want you to stay. We want you to stay. We want you to stay. Erik Ten Hag, we want you to stay. But anyways, moving from that, Chelsea 1-1 against Nottingham Forest. Brilliant point for Nottingham Forest. Even when they went down to 10 men, Nottingham Forest still managed to hold on and find the equaliser as well. Let's keep it 1-1 between them and Chelsea. Chelsea seem like they're on the roll, but that roll seems to be halted right now. But Brighton beating Tottenham 3-2. Brilliant result for Brighton and fantastic for them. Beating Tottenham at home. Tottenham were 2-0 up and they threw it away. And people talk about bottling things. This team love to bottle at its finest. Bottle jobs, babies, formula. That's what these man them are on. Do you know what I mean? But anyways, couldn't care less about Tottenham. Fuck them, man. Swear up. Let's move on now. Because obviously we have no Premier League for next week. Unfortunately, there's no Premier League for up to 2 weeks now, which is bullshit. But anyways, you know what I mean? We're coming on to, we will have to unfortunately talk about the Nations League, which is a bunch of bullshit. But we're going to still try to predict them games if it decides to load. If it doesn't decide to load, I don't care. Just end the podcast and move the fuck on. Do you know what I mean? But we'll see what this is saying. It's still loading. It's still loading. Does it want to load? If you don't want to load, I'm happy. Just leave as this. Because if you don't want to load, I'm happy. Just call it a day. Do you know what I mean? Fuck the predictions and that. But anyways, still, we're just doing this for band's sakes. I predicted Sutton, and I got Sutton out here and all of that. You know what I mean? All of that. But yeah. Alright, this thing is taking its time. Come on, man. Making me look bad here. Do you know what I mean? You're making me look bad. Real bad. Flip sakes. This is an old phone, by the way. The phone is very old, so I guess this is why it's acting like a bit of a twat. But yeah, alright. It's match day 3 of the UEFA Nations League. As I said, I'm just going to really predict these really fast. Moldova against Andorra. Moldova 1-0. That's Moldova across the two names, but hey, they're both as bad as each other. But Moldova 1-0, I guess, so go with that. Latvia versus North Macedonia. 1-1. England, Greece. 2-0 England. Gibraltar, San Marino. Right, this looks like a draw written on this one, man, to be honest. Aren't they both as bad as each other? Let's go for a 0-0 on that one. Finland, Ireland. Finland 1-0. Austria, Kazakhstan. Austria 2-0. Israel, France. France 5-0 France. Batter them. Norway, Slovenia. 2-0 Norway. 2-1 Norway. Faroe Island, Armenia. 1-1. Italy, Belgium. Italy. 2-1 Italy. Estonia, Azerbaijan. Estonia 1-0. Hungary, Netherlands 3-1. Turkey, Montenegro, Turkey 3-1. Ukraine, Georgia, Ukraine 2-0. Bosnia, Herzegovina, Germany 3-0. Slovakia, Sweden 2-1. Iceland, Wales 1-0. Czech Republic, Albania. I see a draw on this one. High draw 2-2. Lithuania, Kosovo 1-1. Croatia, Scotland 2-2. Bulgaria, Luxembourg 2-1. Bulgaria. Belarus, Northern Ireland 1-1. Poland, Portugal 3-1. Portugal. Serbia, Switzerland 2-1. Switzerland. Cyprus, Romania 1-0. Spain, Denmark. Spain 4-1. And that's my predictions for the Nations League. Couldn't give a shit about them, but hey, let's see who wins them. And that's it, guys. What's your predictions? What's your thoughts on all that I said? Man City, the cheats, you know what I mean? The Premier League, Matchday 7, Coleen, Vardy, all of that. And the UEFA Nations League predictions. What's your thoughts on them? Before we finish, Bad Blood, very good. You know what I mean? WWE Bad Blood. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre match, very, very, very good instant classic. That match, straight 9.5 out of 10 for me. Incredible match. All the matches on the card were relatively solid. I mean, there was a few weak ones, but overall, the event as a whole, I'll give it a 7.5. 7.5 for me. And that's it, guys, from my talks on this podcast. Appreciate your time. You know what you to do if you're feeling all this episode, all of that below and that. So big yourselves up, wrap yourselves warm, chilly outside and all of that. Peace, love, unity, have fun. And you're either all in or clear out.